Thank you. Well, I've lived in the Washington, D.C. area since 1988. I graduated from the University of Pittsburgh Law School with a joint degree also in international affairs from their graduate school. And I came to Washington really with the goal of being a public international lawyer working for the State Department. It would be the kind of thing where you would see yourself negotiating treaties and working with international law. And like most well-laid plans, things turned out somewhat different when I came to Washington. I started a career with the Department of Justice, and after a few years, I did make it finally over to the State Department, where I happened to meet my wife, Eileen, who is or was a member of the Foreign Service Corps, and I followed her on assignment overseas to a former Soviet Union country in Central Asia, Turkmenistan, and came away from that experience with really opened my eyes quite a bit to a very different part of the world. I was able to work there for USAID and was able to write a book about the experience called Unknown Sands. And within 2 years of coming back from that assignment, I started to develop a subject matter in the area of privacy and data protection law. And from there, I used that expertise to help stand up the privacy office at the newly created Department of Homeland Security. So I had 23 years of federal service, but I finally left to try my hand in the private sector in 2012. So I'm now currently working for a company here in the Washington, D.C. area as their privacy executive. But as long as I've lived in Washington, I still consider myself a Midwesterner at heart. I was born in Sandusky, Ohio. I went to college at Denison University, which is in Granville, Ohio. And every summer I go up to northern Michigan. It is my happy place where I've been going since I was a kid. And I'm currently working on a second book about my hometown. It's called Color Capital of the World: Growing Up with the Legacy of a Crayon Factory. And there's a whole story behind that, but it's going to be published sometime early next year. But I discovered Rotary really during the COVID pandemic, and this unusual period has really given me time to reflect and thinking I wanted to give back after years of building up experience. I wanted to help serve in a positive way for my community, and I was just drawn to the Washington Rotary chapter's mix of local and global perspectives. And I've especially enjoyed meeting the people who've been very kind, and I can see they're very dedicated to helping others. And I'm a new member, as was said. I just joined at the end of January, so not even yet a month. And in addition to my wife, Eileen, we have a 23-year-old daughter, Charlotte, who lives in the area. My wife and I are also servants to our household of a dog named Kaya and a cat named Poppy. We're looking forward to returning to visiting area museums and traveling a bit about the country when COVID starts to open up. And I still keep alive my Walter Mitty fantasy of becoming an author. So that is my member moment. Thank you.